What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our week number 5 team builder in the AABL. This week, we are taking on the Springfield Skitties, coached by Nico Bob _revive. Springfield Skitties, they are currently 4-0, which is kind of scary. They are undefeated. They have a really solid team. And before I get any further, you're going to be asking, oh, where's Jared at? What's up with Jared? This is the first team builder that I will be recording of my time away from Jared. We obviously don't live together in the summertime, and I'm going home for the summer, so we just didn't have a chance to record a team builder before we left. I'm just recording this team builder on my own. So, and the rest of the team builders for the season will, if I can keep up with it, will be recorded on my own as well. But besides that point, let's get into the team. His team consists of Celesteela, Entei, we have Heliolisk, Gardevoir, Piloswine, Durant, Girder, Mega Blastoise, Garchomp, Dhelmise, Alolan Muck, and Cradily. His Z-Crystal users are Garchomp, Celesteela, and Cradily. So a lot of big threats, a lot of tough things to deal with. His hazard removal is pretty solid with 2 solid spinners in Girder or in a Dhelmise and Blastoise, which is really solid. His Z users in Garchomp and Celesteela are really scary. I don't know what Z Cradily could really do. I don't really see Cradily coming to the matchup, so that's a pretty good thing to note. Alolan Muck is a big problem to some of our major offensive threats, as it can pretty much easily just come in and pursue trap things like them, so that's something that we're going to have to be really careful about. Besides that, Entei is pretty predictable. We kind of know like approximately what that thing is going to kind of be running. Besides that, I think like Mega Blastoise is going to be a problem, obviously, because Mega Blastoise hits like a truck. But for the most part, I think we should be okay. The first one we're going to be bringing this week is Disco Inferno, our Blacephalon. Choice specs, obviously with Beast Boost for his ability. Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, HP, Ice, and Explosion. So basically the way the calcs worked out is everything that does not resist Flamethrower is 2 KO. Straight up just 2 KO'd. No questions asked, just 2 KO'd or O-code by the Flamethrower. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty amazing. So, the things that are not 2 KO'd are Alolan Muck, Garchomp, Mega Blastoise, and I believe Entei as well. However, Shadow Ball, 2 KOs, most of those things. And Garchomp also, if Garchomp is shown to be a dedicated switch into this thing, we also have the HP Ice to potentially catch that thing off guard and knock it out immediately, which is really nice. The big issue is that Muck. If we can get some chip damage on it, we can chip down a little bit. It can get 2 KO'd by the Flamethrower, which is nice, but that involves getting the chip damage on it, and if he lets us get the chip damage on it, then, you know, hooray for us, but, like, that's a tough thing to hope for somebody to do. So, realistically, we gotta bank on the fact that he might not have the chip damage. So, if we deem that Muck is a problem, we can get hazards up, maybe get him to switch in once or twice. We go for Boom on his switch in, and we boom and we mess him up. It might not knock him out, but it's going to do a crazy amount of damage to the point where, unless he's like Figgy Berry Gluttony or something like that, unless he's got like a Figgy Berry or something, he's going to be down at like 10-15% and be in a very bad spot. So the explosion on Blacephalon is literally just for that potential scenario, but realistically, like, I'm going to avoid clicking Explosion as much as possible. So, that's the plan with that, though. The next mon we are bringing this week is AABL, our Mega Glade. Close combat, Zen Headbutt, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, just straight up 4 attacks, breaker kind of set this week. Close combat really punches holes through his team. That not a lot of things really want to justifiably take that hit. Things like Celesteela and stuff like that, they're usually fairly bulky. Take a big chunk from the close combat, which is really important. He doesn't really have good switch-ins to the close combat either. Like, he can switch in Gardevoir, but Gardevoir's physical defense isn't that great, and it doesn't really want to have to take whatever other hit I could potentially come at it with afterwards. So that's pretty cool. So close combat's like a pretty much easy go-to move. We have a Zen Headbutt to break through things like the Girder, which is going to be very important. And just as like an alternate form of stab. We have the dual stab of the dual coverage of Fire Punch and Ice Punch. We have Fire Punch because Durant, we do outspeed the Durant. We can OHKO Durant with Fire Punch, and then we have the Ice Punch to knock out the Garchomp with, if it's not like a really bulky variant, which is perfectly fine. If he's like a super bulky variant, I'm not super worried about it, but you know, it's something to think about. But we do have the Ice Punch to take care of that as well. So that's cool. Very straightforward set, nothing crazy here. Next up, we have the Shockmaster, our Jolteon Flame Orb Quick Feet. We're going to try this set again and hopefully not be stupid and get the Flame Orb knocked off. That would be really dumb. Full Twitch Thunderbolt, HP Ice, and Shadow Ball. Max Special Attack Modest. Enough speed to outpace. I believe that is faster than Durant as well. Yep. That's faster than Durant. And the rest kind of got tossed into HP. The reason why... So, conveniently, we're able to go Modest, and now, with the Quick Feet, once we get our burn off, we will be faster than everything on his team, Scarf was included. There's nothing that he could possibly bring that could outspeed us, which is crazy awesome. Modest HP Ice really messes up the Garchomp. Shadow Ball does a massive chunk to the Dhelmise, and stuff like that. And then Volt Switch Thunderbolt is just pretty much a nuke on a lot of his team. So it's really good Mon to have in this matchup. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy here. But I'm really happy to have the Jolteon on our team. Next up, we get into our Wall Core, starting with Tox Apex Predator, Black Sludge Regenerator, Toxic Scald, Haze, and Recover. Fully physically defensive Toxapex. Nothing out of the ordinary here. We went fully physically defensive because of the Entei. This thing needs to be our designated 100% guaranteed switch into Entei every single time, period. End of discussion. This thing needs to come in on Entei and come in on Entei often. So that is the plan with this guy. This thing is our stop to Entei doing things. This also helps take on the Blastoise, as Blastoise cannot do all that much damage to us, which is really nice. This thing also prevents potential SD Garchomp, because Garchomp might feel safe to set an SD in front of us or something like that. And this thing can easily stop any potential setup options that my opponent might want to go for, which is always really nice. My apologies. Next one we're bringing is Juice Robinson, our Tangela, holding the Eviolite with the Regenerator ability. Giga Drain, Knockoff, HP Ice, and Toxic. Fully specially defensive Tangela this week. Giga Drain is just for stab. It also allows us to hit things like the Piloswine and the Mega Blastoise for super effective damage, which is always nice. We have Knockoff just to get rid of items, scout for Z Crystals on his potential Z users, and stuff like that. And then we have the HP Ice to do a little bit more damage to that Garchomp. And then last but not least, we have Toxic to catch things that might want to switch into this on switch in. The only thing that I could see switching in to this that we can't Toxic, the only would maybe be the Durant or the Muck. But 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to click Knockoff first. which will be really useful to get rid of like a potential AV on the Muck, or a potential like Life Orb or something on Durant, and make it less of a threat. That's something Tangela can do very, very effectively. The last one we're going to be bringing this week is going to be Undertaker, our Aerodactyl. We are holding the Pasho Berry, 248 HP, 172 attack, and then 88 in speed with a Jolly Nature. Jolly Nature with that 88 speed allows us to outspeed everything, barring any Scarfers. Now through the rest into maxing out our HP, and then remainder all went into attack because I wanted to hit as hard as possible. So we have the Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks are important to be able to chip at his team. There's another reason why we have the Pasho Berry, because we could potentially Toxic or get some damage off on the Blastoise that we couldn't have gotten before, and really rack up some damage on that thing if we have the opportunity to. Like if he goes into Blastoise as we go for rocks, we can just go ahead and attack him, go for the Toxic straight away. If he goes for the Rapid Spin, great. If he goes for like a Water Pulse or something, we're going to eat it up because of the Pasho Berry, and regardless, we're going to be getting a Toxic off. And if he Rapid Spins, then we can able to actually get a regular attack off as well to start chipping down that thing on top of the Toxic, which would be really, really great. So that is going to be the team, though, guys. If you guys have enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off. Peace!